Some things are meant to be kept in the dark. What I saw that night will forever be a horrific memory and stick with me to the day that I die. So I'll tell you, things are never what they seem. I have, you might say, have had plenty of odd encounters in my time. But this was pure terror in its finest form. I was working yard shift at a gas station on the outskirts of a small town no one knows about. Nothing ever happens here, and I don't think anyone knows this town exists. I didn't get many customers, so my work is always done, and I can do what I want after. A family friend owns the gas station and was able to give me a job. He said, just in time. I was looking for a new late night worker. My last one bailed mid-shift and I haven't heard from him since. I didn't think much of it because a job is a job, and at the time, I needed a job. Since my work is done, I mostly sit back on my phone and read while listening to the story. As I'm reading my phone, I see a black car pull up to a pump with a beautiful woman inside. Black jacket, blonde hair, rose-red lips. She gets out of the car and enters the store. She walks up quickly and asks to use my bathroom. I nod and say, yes ma'am, it's in the back, blue door. She smiles and scurries off. I pull up my phone and continue reading for about 30 minutes. After that, I don't see her leave. I look to see her car is still parked at the pump. I begin to step outside for a smoke and to get trash when the lights flicker off. Complete darkness encases me. I run outside and around the building to the breaker box, feeling the wall as I go to find my way. I flip the main breaker off and then on again. A dull orange light shoots on above me. I quickly run to the front and see the black car still parked at the pump. I go inside and hear the store phone ringing. It's about 3 in the morning, and I pick up the phone to only hear slight buzzing and soft breathing. Hello? How can I help you? This is the gas station. The breathing intensifies, becoming more heavy and more angry. A clicking noise introduces itself. Both noises combined made my head spin and hurt. Hello? Who is this? I asked, spooked. A quiet voice repeats. Don't trust, run now. What? Trust who? Who the hell is this? The phone goes silent. I hang up the phone and hear a crash in the back. Now realizing it's almost been an hour since that woman came in, I go to check on her. I walk to the back, seeing a flickering light at the door to the bathroom. I step carefully past the office and notice the glass on the floor with something dark covering it. As I progress further to the door, a chill runs through my spine. The hairs on my neck stand up and a cold breeze runs past my body, surrounding it, hugging it to my very core. I felt numb. I finally reach the blue door and knock, saying, hello, ma'am? Are you alright? A gargled, groaning noise can be heard from the other side of the door. I look down and see some dark liquid pouring out from underneath the door. I jump back and slip, falling onto my back. I scramble backwards, cutting myself on the glass shards. I reach the wall and look down at my hands. I was covered in blood. The dark liquid was blood, but how? From who? The door to the bathroom slowly opened, creaking till it hit the wall with a thud. The bathroom was pitch black, and a very feminine, pale hand covered in scars appeared and motioned me forward. I stood up slowly. Ma'am, are you? Before I could finish, the hand slaps the wall, covering it in blood. Her other hand hits the other side on the door, and to my horror, 6 more hands protrude from the darkness, all covered in scars, smacking blood all over the walls. I step back in fear and manage to utter, what the hell? A head creeps forward from the abyss, looking down so I can't see her face. It had long black hair, knotted and mangled, dripping wet. I stutter, what are you? Her head starts to shake furiously. Blood flies everywhere from her hair, staining every surface around us. She suddenly stops and slowly looks up. What I saw next scars me to this day. Her face was stitched close. Her eyes stitched closed. Her nostrils closed. Her mouth closed. A muffled scream starts to erupt from her. Her face starts stretching and contorting. The stitches start ripping her mouth to shreds as they break and tear her lips apart, blood pouring from down her face. The scream intensifies as it is released from her mouth. Fully open, ripped from top to bottom, I bolt towards the counter. She follows me, climbing quickly like a spider across the store, still screaming. I run and dodge as she lunges at me. I slide and crash through the front door, slamming them shut and locking them with my keys. I back away from the door and see her stand up and limp towards the door. Her body looked like a normal woman's, but scarred to hell and back. I step back as she advances. She reaches the door glass and knocks on it. I stood confused. She knocks again and again, and then starts banging on the door. She finally starts ramming her head and whole body into the door and resumes screaming and flailing. The door cracks. That's not gonna hold, I thought. Just as she breaks through the glass screaming, I scramble to the black car. It was unlocked with the keys in the ignition. I locked all the doors and then realized she had disappeared. Where did she go? Surely she was behind me, chasing me. I looked all around and saw nothing. I turned the key, starting the car. No problem. My heart beating fast, I look again all around me, but still nothing. Something then lands on my nose and startles me. I wipe it away and see that it's blood. I slowly look up, only to see her face on the other side of the sunroof. Her hands slowly reach up to her soon eyes and begin to rip every stitch, revealing these big, black, empty eyes. She opens her mouth to scream, but she doesn't. But something screams. I look forward and see the blonde woman screaming in terror, almost 15 feet in front of me, at the side of the creature. The creature climbs off the car and approaches her slowly. The blonde woman screams louder, angering the creature. It then attacks her, pinning her down. I freak out and begin to shift into drive to try and run it over, but the radio flicks on with the static and the clicking noise, and the voice repeats, "Don't trust, run now." Shocked, I yell without thinking, "What do you mean, run? She's in trouble!" I slam the gas, ramming the car into the creature, sending it flying into the store. I get out and pick up the blonde woman, ushering her into the car. I slam the car in reverse, and then into drive, speeding off towards town. The creature's yells can be heard in the distance as we sped down the road. I looked at the blonde woman and stutter, Are you injured?" She stares at me blankly. "Ma'am, are you okay?" I repeated solidly. She then smiles at me and starts to giggle softly. Terrified, I said, "Ma'am, why are you giggling?" Then she starts laughing maniacally. Her body starts to convulse. She starts to ram her head into the window, repeatedly breaking the glass, blood flying everywhere. As I slam on the brakes, she stops. I stare at her in horror as her neck twists sideways and breaks with a loud crack. Her skull slightly open, showing her brain, blood pouring out of her. She looks at me in the eyes and smiles. She whispers brokenly, "Thank you, Father, for this meal." She lunges and everything goes black. I feel my heart beating fast, a sickly feeling in my stomach. I can't see anything at all in the darkness. But to my surprise, I turn to see a person standing in the distance. I run to them, hoping they can help. I reach them and see it's a teen boy, a few years younger than me. He looks at me saddened. "I told you not to trust her. I told you to run. And now she has us both." His mouth opens wide to say something else, but 8 arms reach out and snatch him back into the darkness. I feel he runs upon me now. I suddenly get snatched into the darkness. I wake up to see the gas station counter. I look to my left and look to my right. Amazed, I slap my forehead and laugh tiredly. It was just a dream, Marla. It was just a dream. I sit back, breathing hard, still spooked in my nightmare. I look up, and my face goes pale. My heartbeat speeds up, and the same sickly feeling hits my stomach again. I see a black car pulling into a pump with a beautiful blonde woman with a black jacket and a rose.